All right, good afternoon. Sorry, there were some technical issues with this system, and we finally are able to get it started. Right. So last class we talked about a monotone convergence theorem, right? So and we say a monotonically increasing sequence which is bounded above has a limit, right? And so this is what we have seen. Monotone increasing and bounded above implies convergence. So similarly, there will be results for monotone decreasing and bounded below. Right? So I will write this as a corollary. Okay, so the theorem says, the corollary says, and so this is a corollary. Corollary is basically the consequence of a theorem, right? So something which we can prove by using the main theorem. So the main theorem is monotonically increasing sequence that is bounded above has a will converge. Okay, so now this one is monotonically decreasing and bounded below is convergent, right? So basically you can easily see that okay, so the sequence xn is monotone decreasing, right? So clearly you know that xn is bigger or equal to xn plus 1 for all n belongs to natural number, right? Right, so this implies minus xn plus 1 is less or equal to minus of xn for all n belongs to natural number, right? So when you multiply by minus, you get the inequality reversed, so you have this. So actually minus xn is monotone increasing. Okay, so if xn is monotone decreasing, you know that minus xn is monotone increasing. Okay, next. Okay, so xn is bounded below, so there exists a real number m such that xn is bigger or equal to that real number m for all n, right? For all n belongs to natural number. So this means there exists minus m belongs to real number such that minus m is bigger or equal to minus xn for all n belongs to natural number. Which when you multiply by minus, you get where x is minus n belongs to real number such that minus m is bigger or equal to minus xn for all this. So this says minus xn is bounded. Okay, so what was given is a monotonically decreasing sequence that is bounded below, that is xn. So from that you create minus xn that is monotonically increasing and bounded above. So now what you can do, you can apply the previous theorem. Right? So you can simply apply the previous theorem, and so you already know that right. So you already know by the previous theorem, limit of this sequence is actually supremum of the set which contains elements minus xn, and because minus xn is the increasing sequence bounded above, so that one converges to supremum of minus xn. Okay, so this is what you have now. So now by the property of limits, you can say limit of minus xn is actually minus of limit of xn, and then by supremum results, so this one we already did, right? So by supremum results, this is minus of infimum of xn, right? Supremum of minus xn, you can prove it, right? So as an exercise, you can see supremum of minus of xn is actually minus of infimum of xn. So this gives what? Limit of n goes to infinity xn is equal to actually infimum of xn. Okay, so this is about monotonically decreasing sequence bounded below is convergent. Right? So in general, you can say, right, so in general, we can state it as a monotone convergence theorem, right? The sequence, a monotone sequence is convergent if and only if it is bounded, right? The proof is, I'm skipping the proof because all the parts are done separately, right? Bounded sequence, so monotone sequence, convergent sequence is bounded, we already proved, right? Every convergent sequence is bounded, I proved as an exercise, right? So that's clear, right? Now monotone sequence bounded implies convergent, I proved two cases. First one is this monotone increasing bounded convergent, monotone decreasing bounded convergence. So let me write the outline. Okay, so this part and this part convergent implies boundedness. We already proved as an exercise. Right? So we did this as an exercise. Now this part bounded implies convergent, actually monotone plus bounded implies convergent, right? That is this part, case 1. Okay, so increasing and bounded above implies convergent, I proved in the last class. Decreasing plus bounded below implies convergent, I proved just now. So if you take both cases together, that give you monotone and boundedness implies convergent. Right, so these are the two. This is the monotone convergence theorem, and the proof is already done. So that is why I am skipping the proof. If in case they ask you to prove the monotone convergence theorem, then you have to prove all these things, right? So from those proof, you take it up and put it here and prove. Right. Now let us do an exercise. Okay, so here let us define a sequence yn. Right, so this sequence yn, let us define it as y1 being 1, right, and yn plus 1 is 1/4 of 2yn plus 3. Right, so then basically you can try to see the values, right? So right, so y1, y2, y3, y4, all these values you can find, right, by filling the by using this recurrence formula, you can find it, right? But the question is now here, right? Okay, so here they ask you to do two things. One is they ask you to show that yn is strictly increasing, and the second one, they ask you to show that yn is less than 2 for all n. So when they are asking you to prove results like this, right, for all n, right, strictly increasing is also for all n, boundedness is also for all n. So you have to apply mathematical induction to show this. Right? Strictly increasing also, you have to show that yn is less or equal to or strictly less than yn plus 1 by induction, and also you have to show that yn is less than 2. Right? So let me show whatever the things I can show as of now. Okay, so for n is equal to 1, you have to show the results, right? Because if you want to show increasing, you know, you have to show yn is less than yn plus 1 for all n. That is what you have to show, right? So then n is equal to 1 case, you have to show that, and that is clear because you can find y1 is given and you can find y2. So that's what you have to show. Now, induction. Right? So you show that, or you assume that yp is less than yp plus 1 for some p, right? So you have to show that yp plus 1 is less than yp plus 2. Okay. Right, so you have yp plus 2 is actually equal to 1/4 of, according to this recurrent formula, right? So when you put n is equal to p plus 1, you get yp plus 1 is equal to 1/4 of 2 times yp plus 1 plus 3. But you assume that yp is smaller than yp plus 1. So this one is strictly bigger than 1/4 of 2 yp plus 3. All the other values are same except this, because yp plus 1 is bigger than yp. So this one is bigger than this. But this, according to this formula, is yp plus 1. So this is actually yp plus 1. So but your yp plus 1 is strictly less than yp plus 2. So here for some n is equal to p, and you show that the results is true for n is equal to p plus 1. So then by mathematical induction, okay, so by induction, so yn plus 1 is less than, sorry, yn plus 1 is bigger than yn for all n. And so that is the induction part, and that guarantees the increasing, that shows you that the sequence is increasing. Now you have to show that the other one, right? Right, so next one, you know clearly y1 is less than 2. That is very clear for you, right? Because y1 is 1, so it's obviously less than 2. Now again, you assume yp is less than 2 for some p, right? So yp plus 1 is actually 1/4 of 2yp plus 3, right? 2yp plus 3, that is less than 1/4 of 2 times 2 plus 3, right? So that is 4 plus 7/4, which is strictly less than 2. Right, so that's not a big calculation. You can easily see that, right? Because yp is less than 2, this is less than 2. So again, okay, right. So that guarantees two things, right? So in this exercise, we show that the given sequence is increasing and bounded above. Right. So next exercise. Right, next question. Will the sequence yn, which I defined here, converge? If it converges, they ask you to find the limit as well. So, will this converge, and maybe I can ask why. Right? Will this converge? If it is converged, then you have to say why it is converging. If it is not converging also, you have to say why it is not converging. And then if it is converging, they ask you to find the limit. So clearly, yn is okay. So converging and why, you can easily write the answer, because you know that the sequence is monotonically increasing and bounded above, which you already proved. So according to the monotone convergence theorem, you can say it has a limit. Right? It is convergent and it has a limit. Now what I am going to do is to let limit of n goes to infinity is equal to L. And I have to find what is L. Right? So to find L, I have this formula. Right? So this is the formula I have. Yn plus 1 is equal to 1/4. So what I do is I take limit on both sides. Right? So you take limit on both sides. So you clearly know if yn goes to L as n goes to infinity, yn plus 1 also goes to L, because that is the definition of limit, right? The tail will go to the same limit. Limit is unique. So this is L, and this one 1/4 will be 1/4, 2 will be 2, but yn will convert to L, so 2L plus 3. Right, so now you have a formula in L. So from this, you can easily find L. Right, so it is 3/2. Okay, so this is how you find the limit of the sequence as well. So let me finish this with an exercise. Similar kind of exercise. Okay, so here is a homework. Similar type, right? We have a sequence xn defined like this with an initial value x1 is equal to 2 and xn plus 1 is 2 minus square root of 4 minus xn. They ask you to show that xn is bounded between 0 and 4, bounded below by 0 and bounded above by 4. Xn is strictly decreasing. So after that, by monotone convergence theorem, you can find the limit, and they ask you to show that the limit is 0. And then they ask you to find the ratio of the limit, right? Xn plus 1 over xn. They ask you to show it is 1 over 4. So I leave it as a homework, right? So tomorrow, I will talk a little bit more about some other properties of sequences, especially something called there are two things we have to talk. One is about infinite, finding the Euler number, right? Because when we talk about numbers, we see reals, naturals. In the reals, we see naturals, integers, rationals, and irrationals. And in addition to that, I say that there are some numbers like transcendental numbers, which are known as pi, Euler number E, and things like that. So first, we will try to see how to find the Euler number E by using the limit of a sequence, right? And then we will introduce something called subsequences and then discuss about the properties of subsequences, right? So I will stop here and then we'll see the rest in tomorrow's class.